Welcome once again to the Law and Order Counseling session. I'm Sir Joshua Masungwin. I reside in Jamestown. Today we'll talk much about, in brief, about communication in marriage. Why? Because communication is being undermined, or communication concept is not much considered, because most couples, they don't communicate properly. Now, in general, communication is a vehicle of a society. Interpersonal relations are also built on communication, and on the other hand, a sound marriage is built on proper communication skills. It is also essential for intellectual development. It has the ability to impart information, feelings, expression, viewpoints, either verbally or non-verbally. Therefore, communication does have either positive or negative effects. In fact, communication can be viewed as giving of ourselves, sharing of ourselves, giving of thoughts, feelings, and ideas to the spouse. A study was conducted which gave the outcome that communication consists of 7% words which are said verbally, and 38% how words are expressed, 55% body language, non-verbal actions, hands and posture. In communication, facts are conveyed. Opinions, real communication in marriage begins when thoughts are expressed. In this case, couples, even after some years of marriage, don't know how their spouse thinks. In other words, this is lack of oneness. Now, communication also is based on truth, of which truth is the foundation of all relationships. At this level, you are to share your innermost feelings and opinions to your spouse without pretense or masks. True marriage is built on trustfulness, empathy, the appreciative understanding of your wife or husband. At this level, communication becomes meaningful and purposeful. Such communication is like a sacrifice offered unto God. In marriage, there should be freedom in expressing oneself. Now, let us come to the root causes of lack of communication. One of the main root cause of lack of communication is self-centeredness, pride, fear of being rejected. Why? Because some feel that if I communicate or if I say my feelings or express my feelings, I'll be rejected. The other part is fear of causing temper outbursts. Whether positive or negative, have a tendency to last as long as the hearer lives. I therefore urge you couples to speak words that edify, uplift, and encourage the spouse. Thus, calculate your words before saying them, since words represent what is in your heart, which supports the truth which says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That constructive communication in marriage is a fundamental built-in block which determines the success of marriage. Therefore, create and maintain a healthy communication platform, because couples who don't talk to each other properly cause marriage breakdown, which is not the expectation of God. God does not expect marriage to break. It's out of God's plan. Out of their breakdown come problems such as infidelity, rejection, frustration, and many more. This is as a result of unmeaningful communication. Therefore, requirements for good communication in marriage. When we read in the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 3, which says, "No two people can effectively work together, live together, or take a decision together without in-depth communication." Couples, let it be well understood and maintained that communication is the cornerstone of an ever maturing and successful marriage relationship. For the health of the marriage, it is the right of your couples to express oneness and honesty. Concern for each other with the purpose of serving and ministering to each other will draw both to communicate. There should be also self-control, listening with full attention without something disturbs. Right attitude towards each other to be cultivated and maintained. An adoption of an optimistic and a happy attitude should be a priority. Choose the right ways for the subject to be discussed. Also, in the right time, right issue, right way, and the right place. Now, in brief as well, let us go on how to improve your communication as couples. When a problem arises, both of you should be prepared to acknowledge that you are part of a problem. Why? Because there are some who believe that when there's a problem, is the couple's problem or is the spouse's problem. Yet, the truth is both of you are part of a problem. And you need to solve it jointly. Now, there should be, in that scenario, there should be a desire to change, both of you. Otherwise, avoid emotional words such as, "You don't really love me. You never do anything right. You don't care." These words should be avoided because they make a negative impact. Also, avoid negatives in any discussion. When a discussion is on, there should be positivity, or words that are positive should be said. Discuss one problem at a time without blaming one another, which is a serious problem. Once one is being blamed, there will be no proper communication to be followed, or nothing is going to be solved in case of a problem. Forget the past. Concentrate on the positive and appreciate what your spouse does. Share problems, fears, aspiration, unhappiness, disappointments, and joys. Strive to have a healthy time together, which is a sensitive issue that some couples, they don't have time together where they discuss a lot of things, different things, and also ways as to build their relationship. Now, do to your spouse what you should like him or her to do for you. We find this one in the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 31. Pay full attention to your spouse. There are other spouses. Some spouses, they don't pay any attention to their spouses in case a matter is being discussed. They don't. Acknowledge criticism. Evaluate yourself. Acknowledge your faults. And do something about them. When someone comes up with constructive criticism, acknowledge it. And also try to rectify them. Don't ignore questions, answer them with honesty. Some, in marriage, they've got that tendency that when a question is being asked, they don't answer. Or they answer partially. But we are advised, or I'm kindly advising that you answer with honesty. Be sympathetic to your spouse, joining him or her through difficult times. Serve and minister to each other in love. Therefore, these are the hints that should improve communication in marriage. And once these hints are being adhered to or complied to, there will be, or there shall be, a healthy marriage. Therefore, if anyone wants more from this, I kindly ask that you contact me on these numbers: 06871 44865, 06871 44865. I thank you.